Animal welfare. An introduction. This video was a collaboration between the BC SPCA, RSPCA Australia, RSPCA UK, SPCA New Zealand, and the Scottish SPCA. Animals should enjoy a good life. Our lives intersect and impact animals in many ways. Understanding animal welfare enables us to help animals experience a good life. By the end of this video, you'll be able to explain what animal welfare is and the link between sentience and animal welfare. Summarize the concept of animal welfare assessment using the 5 domains model. Describe some of the ways you can promote and provide opportunities for animals to experience a good life. How does this cat feel today? Animal welfare is how animals feel, and it can change based on their experiences in day-to-day life. It can range from good through neutral to poor, and can be anywhere in between at any given moment. Promoting good animal welfare is more than just making sure animals don't have negative experiences such as feeling fear or anxiety. It means ensuring that animals can also interact positively with their surroundings and other beings, with choice about how they spend their time, and experience positive emotions like joy, contentment, and excitement. Let's explore how Delilah's negative and positive experiences contribute to her overall welfare through the course of a day. In the morning, Delilah gets up, explores, is hungry, and has activity time. What is her state of welfare for each part of her morning? Time to get up. Delilah wakes up from her cozy bed at the bottom of her person Sally's bed and has a nice, long stretch. When Delilah is asleep and not consciously experiencing the world, her welfare state is neutral. She stretches her body out and it feels good. This is a positive experience for Delilah. Let's explore. Delilah starts exploring her environment. She scratches vigorously on her scratching post in the living room. This behavior allows Delilah to scent and physically mark her environment and care for her claws. It feels satisfying. Sally is downstairs. Delilah goes to find and greet Sally. She rubs her face against Sally's leg, scent marking and reinforcing their social connection. Delilah feels affection and contentment. For cats, scent marking is an important way to communicate. It helps them feel safe and at home. These positive experiences mean Delilah's welfare state is currently positive. Activity time. Delilah feels hungry. This negative experience means her positive welfare state will be temporarily reduced until she satisfies her hunger. She goes in search of food, then uses her problem-solving abilities and physical skills to overcome the challenge of her puzzle feeder to get the tasty food out of the toy. Delilah engaged in a fun activity that made her think and use her body to obtain a reward. She also enjoyed the tasty food and now feels full and satisfied and is in a positive welfare state. In the afternoon, Delilah lays in the sun and falls asleep. She is startled by a loud noise. She interacts with Grace, a cat who is also part of the family. What state of welfare does Delilah experience this afternoon? Sunbathing. Delilah finds a warm spot in the sun to have a nap. She is experiencing a positive welfare state and feels content and relaxed enough to go to sleep. When she's asleep and not consciously experiencing the world, Delilah's welfare state is neutral. Running for cover. Delilah is startled awake by a loud noise. Feeling scared, she is in a negative welfare state and runs to hide. Hiding helps alleviate her fear, and once she begins to feel secure, her welfare state returns to neutral. Bumping into friends. Delilah finds Grace, another cat who is part of Delilah and Sally's family. The two cats gently bump heads, rub against each other, and intertwine their tails. Then they part peacefully and continue on their way. Having a compatible friend like Grace brings Delilah a sense of social connection. Delilah's welfare is positive during their time together. When both cats decide to go their separate ways, their welfare state returns to neutral. It is evening. Delilah is thirsty and wants to explore. Let's see how her welfare state fluctuates. Thirsty. Delilah feels thirsty. She goes to have a drink of fresh, clean water from her water fountain. When Delilah experiences thirst, her welfare state is temporarily negative. Once she's had enough to drink, her thirst is quenched, which feels satisfying, and her welfare state changes to positive. Protection from others. Delilah's had some rest and a drink and is ready to explore. She passes by the patio door and sees Tarzan, another cat from her neighborhood. She doesn't like Tarzan. He frightens her and is near her home. Delilah arches her back, puffs up her hair, and hisses at him. Delilah is experiencing a negative welfare state because she is feeling scared, worried, and defensive. She tries to appear threatening so Tarzan will leave. It's almost time for bed. Delilah has found a safe space and gets some time with her person Sally. Let's see what her welfare state is now. Danger averted. Delilah moves away to where she can't see Tarzan, and her fear subsides. It's nighttime and Sally is closing the curtains and blinds. Delilah chooses to lie in her cozy bed in the living room, and this helps her to feel safer. Sally's also there for company, reading a book. She's not completely relaxed yet, but now Delilah is in a safe space with her person. She's approaching a more neutral welfare state. Her welfare state then becomes positive as she starts to enjoy the comfort, peace, and company, feeling relaxed. Last play of the day. Sally gets out a toy that Delilah likes, and they play for a few minutes, finishing with Delilah leaping and capturing the toy. Delilah then moves away to have a snack from one of her puzzle feeders. Delilah enjoyed engaging in predatory play, challenging her mind, and moving her body actively. The positive experiences of play, social interaction with her person, and eating tasty food mean that Delilah is in a positive welfare state. One last cuddle. After her snack, Delilah chooses to come back to Sally, who is now sitting on the sofa. Delilah sits on Sally's lap. Sally gently strokes and scratches around Delilah's ears and neck, just the way she knows Delilah enjoys. Delilah has chosen to interact with Sally and is experiencing a positive welfare state as she delights in the social interaction, the warmth of Sally's lap, and the enjoyable feeling of the strokes and scratches. Delilah's day. Although Delilah has experienced a range of feelings over the day, overall, she has had more positive feelings than negative ones. When an animal experiences many more positive than negative feelings, their welfare state is good, and they are experiencing a good life. Let's explore some of Delilah's good life examples. Delilah has experienced many positive feelings throughout her day. For example, she has enjoyed eating food and drinking fresh water, felt relaxed and comfortable, stretching and enjoying cozy places to rest. She engaged in positive interactions with her environment, her person, and another compatible cat by scent marking, scratching, face rubbing, play, sitting on Sally's lap having her body stroked, and interacting with grace. She chose when or how to explore, play, rest, move about her house, eat, and drink. Having control over your actions and choices is known as agency. Maintaining good welfare at all times during an animal's life isn't possible, just like it isn't possible for humans. Having brief negative feelings is an important part of life and helps with normal body functioning. For example, you need to feel thirsty to motivate you to drink. However, we should still strive to ensure that animals spend more time feeling good than they do feeling bad, both in the short term and over the animal's lifetime. Sentience. Why animal welfare matters. Animal welfare is important because animals are sentient. This means having feelings and experiences that matter to them, and that they can learn from. This includes feeling a range of emotions like happiness, pain, fear, contentment, boredom, frustration, and relaxation. Let's learn more. As humans, we have a responsibility to consider how our actions impact an animal's experience and make every effort to safeguard their welfare. There is significant evidence that many animals are sentient, including mammals, birds, reptiles, fish, and some decapod crustaceans, such as lobsters and crabs, and cephalopods, such as octopuses and squids. Did you know? Animal sentience is legally recognized in some countries. We are constantly learning more about animals' feelings and abilities that indicate their sentience. These include learning from their own experience and from other animals, assessing risks and benefits, and making choices. These abilities rely upon animals being aware of changes happening around them, while also being able to assess, process, and remember information that matters to them. Let's explore a few of these abilities that give evidence of animal sentience. Let's learn more about laughing rats and amazing octopuses. Laughing rats. Rats communicate with one another using ultrasonic sounds that are too high-pitched for human ears to hear. One such sound, associated with positive feelings, has been likened to human laughter. These high-pitched chirps are made by rats when they're playing together or being tickled by a human. They can even learn to seek out a tickling hand for more tickles. Amazing octopuses. There is strong evidence that these 8-legged creatures are sentient, including evidence that they feel pain, learn by observation, have personalities and short and long-term memory, and are highly intelligent, using complex strategies to forage, capture prey, and avoid predators, even using tools to hide and defend themselves. Our connection to animals. An animal's welfare can be impacted by finding a balance between the animal's interests and human needs and desires. Society determines what compromises to animal welfare are accepted as necessary and reasonable, for example, through legislation and changes to practices, such as changing or ending activities that we know negatively impact animal welfare. Society must make every effort to improve animals' welfare over time with better practices and legislation, informed by current scientific evidence and knowledge about animals. Let's explore how Farmer Jordan helps Hope the hen experience good animal welfare. Hope the hen. The influence that people can have on animals' experiences and welfare is clear in Hope the hen's life on Jordan's farm. Hope has plenty of room and other hens for company. The hens always have fresh food and water, comfortable and clean shelter to protect them against the elements, and an environment where they can choose how to spend their time. For example, dust bathing, foraging, perching, nesting, and scratching, behaviors that hens find rewarding. The care and environment that Jordan provides help Hope and the other hens feel content and experience good welfare and a good life. Assessing animal welfare. Recognizing that animals are sentient is essential to assessing an animal's welfare. The more we understand an animal's feelings, the more we can take steps to try to improve their welfare. The leading science-based model for assessing animal welfare is the 5 domains model. It considers welfare to represent how an animal experiences their life. An animal's experience is influenced by the animal's nutrition, physical environment, health, and behavioral interactions in combination. The balance of negative and positive feelings that are associated with these physical experiences reflect the animal's welfare. What about the 5 Freedoms Framework? The 5 Freedoms Framework. The 5 Freedoms Framework has been used widely to consider aspects of animal welfare and guide management practices, but is primarily focused on the avoidance of suffering or negative feelings. The 5 domains model builds on the 5 freedoms concepts, recognizing that animals need more than avoidance of suffering or negative feelings for them to experience good welfare. They also need to have positive experiences. Rosemary the rabbit. Let's explore the 5 domains model through the life of Rosemary. Rosemary lives in an enclosure with her rabbit friend Dandelion. They have a large sheltered area where they can sleep and rest, and an adjoining outdoor area where they can exercise and have fun. Their habitat is large enough so they can rest together or apart from each other, as they choose. Dandelion came to live with Rosemary recently, so she could have a companion. Tim, their person, made sure both rabbits were spayed/neutered, well in advance of being introduced, so they can live together happily and without producing offspring. Domain 1: Nutrition. The first domain of animal welfare that we'll consider is nutrition. An animal's food and water intake impacts their nutrition and hydration status. Rosemary and Dandelion have access to a tasty, balanced diet of clean and dry grass hay, a mixture of dark, leafy green vegetables, and an appropriate amount of rabbit pellets. They also have a heavy, large bowl of fresh, clean water with a sipper bottle for backup. Their water is easy for them to access whenever they need it and is changed at least once a day. Domain 2, physical environment. The second domain of animal welfare that we'll consider is the physical environment. This includes conditions in the animal's living space such as temperature, noise, bedding, air quality, humidity, space to move, light, smells, sounds, and places to rest and hide. What physical environment do Rosemary and Dandelion need to experience good welfare? Rosemary and Dandelion have enough space to run, jump, play, fully stretch out, and move around how they want, together or separately. When they sit up tall, their ears aren't touching the top of the enclosure. They are protected from the elements and predators and have a darkened, enclosed sleeping area. Their environment is a comfortable temperature, quiet, clean, cozy, safe, smells pleasant, and has enough natural light during the daytime. Domain 3, health. The third domain of animal welfare that we'll consider is health. Dandelion has been quiet lately, not eating well, and is losing weight. At his veterinary check, it is discovered that he has dental disease. How has dental disease been affecting Dandelion's welfare? Dandelion's dental disease has caused him to feel pain, and also frustration and hunger, because he couldn't eat comfortably. These feelings resulted in an overall negative welfare state for Dandelion, until he had appropriate veterinary treatment for his dental disease and was put onto an optimal diet to help prevent future dental problems. Now he can eat and enjoy it, feel full, satisfied, fit, and healthy. Regular checkups and appropriate preventative care and vaccinations will help keep both rabbits healthy, prevent illness, and pick up on problems early so they can be treated promptly. Domain 4, behavioral interactions. The fourth domain of animal welfare that we'll consider is behavioral interactions. When an animal has choice about if, when, and how they interact with their environment, other animals, and humans, this contributes to a sense of positive welfare. Does the animal have varied, new, and engaging challenges and choices in how they interact? Rosemary, and now Dandelion, always has lots of materials and items to interact with, such as plastic tunnels, snuffle mats, wooden houses, and large trays filled with earth, that encourage rewarding behaviors such as hopping, jumping, running, digging, and searching for food. The two rabbits also have opportunities for choice and challenges through a variety of enjoyable foods placed in appropriately challenging puzzle feeders. These stimulate their minds but aren't too hard to solve because Tim knows that would just make them frustrated. Does the animal have opportunities for positive social interactions with compatible animals? Rosemary had lived on her own, and Tim recognized that she needed a companion. After a gradual introduction in neutral territory, Rosemary and Dandelion got along well. Now Rosemary and Dandelion choose to spend most of their time together, but still have the space to spend time apart if they want to. They are safe from unwanted and frightening interactions with predators at night. The enclosure is well protected from neighboring cats and dogs and offers them a screened area out of sight if they choose to hide to feel more comfortable. Does the animal have opportunities for positive social interaction with people? Tim takes the time to sit with Rosemary and Dandelion and let them come up to him to be stroked every day. His son loves the rabbits too. He is very gentle with them and likes to spend supervised time with the rabbits. Recently, they have all been learning how to use reward-based training to help make grooming and health checks fun. Domain 5, mental state/experiences. The fifth domain of animal welfare tells us about Rosemary and Dandelion's overall experience resulting from all the feelings associated with the physical/functional components in domains 1 to 4. For example, 1. Nutrition. Pleasure of chewing, eating, drinking, and feeling full and satisfied. 2. Physical environment. The right temperature range and bedding for physical comfort. 3. Health. Feeling healthy, well-rested, and physically capable of daily activities. 4. Behavioral interactions. Joy and pleasure associated with interactions with others and their environment. An animal's overall experience is their welfare state, and in Rosemary and Dandelion's case, we conclude it's generally good. A good life. Helping animals to have a good life in which they are thriving means ensuring an animal has all they need to prevent negative experiences, or to reduce their impact, and that they can have positive experiences. Experiences directly relate to how an animal feels, which indicates their welfare. Use Delilah's, Hope's, and Rosemary and Dandelion's stories to help you reflect on this. How can you promote good welfare for the animals in your life? Thank you for watching.